Hello guys and welcome to episode number 10. In this one we're going to be solving 5 SQL problems, this time from the company Google. So let's get started. Problem number 1. Let's see what we have here. Let's dissect this just as usual. Find business types present in the dataset. So we have, this is a filter, business type, and then we also have to output the business types, S. So this is incredibly simple. Select from, we're going to choose the table here. And all we have to do is select the different types of business types. Or we can do it in two ways. We can either just make it a short way. We can just choose distinct columns. And we're going to get these 3. We can check the solution. Everything is fine. Or we can remove the distinct here and use the group by. We can also do it by writing the entire thing. We can check. We have the same output, same solution, or we can replace this. We can replace it with 1 because this is the column number 1. In this case, we just have 1, so it's the first one. And we can solve it this way. So you could say there's 3 ways of doing this, but really it's just 2. Problem number 2, let's see what we have to do with this one. Let's see. We have to find all companies with more, just a condition, more than 10 employees. And we have to output all of the columns. So we have to output the asterisk, all of the columns. We have one thing to show, and we have one filter. Right, select from. We have to show everything. All companies more than 10 employees. So let's check what we have here. Number of employees. Where number of employees more than 10. So not more than equal, just more. So these should be the companies with more than 10 employees. Let's see if that's correct. And that's correct. So simple recap. Show all the rows where this condition is met right here. The column N employees has a value of higher than 10. Right, well, that was it for this one as well. Very simple. Let's move to the next one. Problem number 3. Let's hope this one is going to be a bit more difficult. Find all records. Again, that sounds like an asterisk. With words. This could be a filter. Words. Start with letter G. Definitely a filter. Now we have to output words 1 and words 2. If they meet these conditions, we have to output both our columns. So we have to output everything. Just gonna write that quick, select from. So we need to output everything from this. Now let's write here, let's see with these filters, words. Well, we can conclude that all of them are words. So words here is not a filter. So the only filter we really have is start with letter G. Now we have to be careful because if we look at the formatting here, this is one case where it literally starts with letter G. And then the next type of situation we have here where it's comma and then we have G. So in this case, in the first one right here, there are no characters before. It's literally the first word. But if it's in between, then it's always going to be a comma. There are no spaces. So we actually have to check for 2 columns for 2 situations. So we have to do 4 filters basically. We have to filter for this one and for this one separately for both of these cases. So let's just do that really quick. We're going to say for column number 1, which is words 1. And then we're going to check to see if they start with G and then if there are any other characters afterwards. Or if words 1 starts with comma G. Basically, if it's the first word in the sequence or if it's one of the middle ones or the last one. So that would be our first filter right here. We can put it in between parentheses to make it cleaner. Now we have to do the same thing for column number 2, which is called just words 2. So this would be our final solution. If we check it here, everything is fine. Now let's recap what we just did here. Let me try to get everything. There we go. So we're selecting all of the columns. where in here we have 4 filters because we have 2 columns, and for each of them we have 2 filters, 2 situations. Situation number 1, when the first word starts with G and there are no characters before it. And situation number 2 is when one of the words that starts with G is in the middle, or not first basically, and it has a comma. So we're here, up here, we are looking for words that start with G and there's nothing else before them. And then we are looking for comma and G, which would result that that is a word in the middle that starts with G, based on the formatting that we have in this table down here. All right, let's move on to problem number 4. Problem number 4, find drafts. Let's see, this could be a filter. Drafts contain the word optimism. Word optimism. So we just have find drafts. That literally tells us show everything. So the asterisk contains the word. So it could be 2 filters, drafts and word optimism. Now let's check. Let's write our select from. We already know we have to do this. Now we know we have to do 1 or 2 filters. Let's check out the data. We have to find the drafts. So as we can notice here, on file name, we have files that start with draft and files that start, well, they're called final. So clearly we have to do a filter here. We have to filter for draft. And then in the other column, in this column here, we have to filter for the word optimism. Wherever this one here, I don't know. It seems there's another one here, but this one wouldn't be valid because this is a final and we have to do a draft. So probably the solution is only going to be the one in the middle right here. Only 1 row. Let's just do that. File name, like, we're just gonna search in it before and after draft. We don't really care about formatting in this case. And at the same time, we also want contents to contain the word optimism. I'm just gonna copy paste it. Optimism. So these here, this symbol, it's percentage. It means that, let's just say as before, we have the character G. Basically, this says everything, there can be anything before. And if we put it here, it means there can be anything after. Now, my G here looks like a 9. There we go. So check solution, and we are good to go. So let's recap really quick. We're selecting all of the rows, and we have 2 filters. File name has to contain the word draft anywhere, and the column contents has to contain the word optimism anywhere, before and after. It does not matter. Problem number 5, guys, and the last one for today. Let's see what we have to do here. So we have to find companies that have at least 2 Chinese speakers. This seems to be a filter. Chinese could be speaker filter. Speakers could be another one. Users also can be a filter. Really, if we break it down, we have to verify, is this a filter? Is this a filter? Because there could be, you know, users that don't even speak. There could be entries that are not users. There could be, clearly this is most likely the filter where people are Chinese or whatever they are. Let's see. So you see we here in the language, they can be either German or Spanish or Arabic, Russian, whatever. So we just have to filter this column. Let's filter this column. Select from playbook users where this one equals Chinese. We're going to select, what do we have to do? Find companies. It's a bit vague. Let's try to select all then, I guess. Find companies. Companies. No, that sounds like, this is a table of users. So what an entry is a user. So probably we have to show the company ID where, let's try this one and see what happens. Okay, we have duplicates, so we're just going to try distinct. Oh, but wait, we have to have at least 2 Chinese speakers. So in this case, we're going to have to use, we're going to say, we're going to remove the distinct there. We're going to put group by company ID. And then we're going to check if the count of everything is more than 1. And now we're going to get number 4. And that actually seems to be correct. It could have been that they wanted a list of the companies or they want the number of companies. This just says find companies. That kind of tells me, the wording tells me that we should list the companies, because they would have said find the number of or the count. It's a bit, you can interpret it in multiple ways. So what we did here, we are selecting a company and then we are aggregating by the company. This is the same thing as saying distinct company ID. But then we actually, what we want is to count the number of rows. The rows that we're getting back, that they're being counted for, they are already filtered by language equals Chinese. So then we simply only want to show the amount of them that have the language column to more than 1, which would be at least 2, right? Which is exactly what we need, because the filter is at least 2 Chinese speakers. So this is the solution right here. And that was it for today's, guys. Another quick episode. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoy these kinds of problems, I highly encourage you to join the StrataScratch community. Consider using the affiliate link in the description below. It is of tremendous help for a small creator like me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.